everybody, my name is Mars. You can call me MG if you would like, and today is the first day of May. More importantly and excitingly, it's the first day of May Chaos Reign! Woo! If you don't know what I'm talking about, May Chaos Reign is an event hosted by myself and my three dearest friends, Violet from the channel Writing Violet, Crystal from the channel Crystal's Cluster, and Marta from the channel Marta, it's just her name. This is an event that we host every May to celebrate the anniversary of when we started streaming together. And honestly, I can't believe we've been streaming together for 3 years now. That's wild. But this year, the theme is planning a garden party. It is called Chaos in Bloom, and it's so fun. We had a great time putting this together, and I am so excited to get right to filling these prompts. So here I have my everyday bullet journal, and this is my May Chaos Reign spread. My theme for May in my bullet journal is Princess Mononoke, that's why this sticker is here. But around the corners I have the 4 badges I'm planning on winning, I guess would be the correct verb there. And then I have the 6 prompts to fulfill. So the basic gist of it, and I will leave links down below for better explanations, but the basic gist of how things are running this year is that there are 6 categories that correlate to planning a garden party, and they are location, decorations, beverages, food, entertainment, and dress code. I know my own event, guys. Don't worry, I know. And within those 6 categories, there are 5 different prompt types, so you can choose between reading, writing, watching, making, and self-care prompts. So I have gone through and already chosen which prompts that I want to do, and I have gotten for 2 watching, 2 reading, and 2 making prompts. It just so happened that I'm not doing any of the self-care or writing prompts. That's just how it went this year, but I have done little icons for each of them, and I didn't write down the actual name, or I wrote down the name of the prompt. I didn't write down what the actual prompt is, but like, it's fine. I wrote that down separately because I knew I wasn't going to remember, so this is just my catch-all notebook, but I have, if I can find it, I have my checklist of what I'm going to do for each prompt. So I think I'm going to switch to an overhead cam to actually show you in depth what these say, because I don't feel like holding things up, so give me a second to set that up. Okay, so technically we haven't released any of the prompts yet, because what we're doing is releasing 2 categories at a time every week, but being one of the people who planned this, I already know what the prompts are, and we also have like a spoilers folder for people to know ahead of time. That's what this badge is for people who spoil themselves and plan ahead of time. So this is what I have done. So for the greenhouse, the prompt is to watch a foreign film. I still have no idea what I'm going to do for that one, but it's fine, I have a whole month. For decorations, I have gone for garden gnomes, and the prompt is to read a TBR veteran or just a book that you've owned for a very long time. I think the parameters were over a year and haven't read yet. For that, I will be reading, oh, I can not shake the camera, that'd be great. But I'll be reading The Rime of the Ancient Mariner and Other Poems by Samuel Taylor Coleridge. I don't remember when I picked this up, but it was quite a while ago, and I'll finally be getting to it. Then for beverages, I've gone for tea and coffee, and the prompt for that is to read in a cafe. That might be this book, it might be a different book, it doesn't matter. For food, I've gone with berry scones, and the prompt is to watch a baking video, and I will be doing that today actually. So Crystal, one of my friends who co-hosts this with me, she has a baking channel called Desserts and Dragons where she posts fantasy-themed dessert videos every month. And so she has a new one going up today because it is the first of the month, and that will be in a little under 3 hours, so I'm very excited for that, and I will get to check off a prompt already. For entertainment, I have picked lawn darts, and the prompt for that is to try a new hobby. I've got a couple of ideas on what I want to do for this, but I haven't really solidified anything, so we'll just figure that out when the time comes and I've pretty much done everything else. And finally, for dress code, I've gone for pajama party, and the prompt for this is to make friendship bracelets, which is great because I have a bunch of embroidery floss that I have had for years and years and years and haven't used, and I will finally be putting it to use. So those are my plans for the month. I don't know, aside from the Berry Scots prompt, I don't know when I'll be doing each thing, but they'll happen during the month of May. So those are my plans for May Chaos Reign this year. This vlog might have more than just me completing those prompts in it. I am moving at the end of the month, and I might include some like new office setup footage because I know people enjoy that. I know I enjoy that, and I think it would just be fun to include. So might have a little bit of extra stuff thrown in, but for the most part, my May Chaos Reign plans are going to be the focus of this video, so stick around if that sounds interesting to you. Hopefully this vlog won't be too long for my software to edit. I have had that issue before with the vlogs, but that's a problem for me in a month. For now, I will get going, and I will actually see you in a couple of hours to update you on my first prompt completed, so I will see you then. Look who's come to hang out! It's Gremlin! Hello, baby girl! Oh, you're so cute! Yeah, you're so cute! Everybody, it is about 1 p.m. on the 3rd of May, and I am here with a book haul. As you can see, this massive stack of books. If I'm out of breath, it's because my apartment is up some stairs and I am horribly out of shape. Partially because I'm disabled and can't exercise very often, partially because I just don't like exercising, so like, stairs really get to me sometimes. First, before we get to the books, I have this iced coffee that is absolutely delicious. We have a local coffee shop that, it's like a combination coffee shop plant store that I just adore. And one of their specials is called Peace Valley, and it's a lavender and peppermint latte. And I'm like, I'll try it. It's very sweet, but it's so good. So I have that. I have books from 2 different sources. The first is thriftbooks.com. I ordered a couple of books from series just to top myself off on those, and some other books that I've previously unhauled but have since regretted and have wanted to get again. And then I also have books from the local library doing a used book sale, and I could have gotten more than I did, but I got 4 books from Thrift Books recently, and then 6 books from the book sale today. And like, there were a few other books that I had my eye on, but I'm like, let me not go insane here. So all in all, I spent, I think, like 15 bucks on the books from Thrift Books. How many times am I gonna say books in this clip? So many. And then the library sale, so cheap. 6 books for $5. Absolutely insane. So I'm just gonna start at the top of the stack. So we have, let me put them in series order, Hawksong and Snake Charm by Amelia Atwater Rhodes. I love these 2 books so much, and at one point in time I owned the whole series, all 5 books, and I adored these books. Wasn't a huge fan of the other 3, so I unhauled the whole series because they were very mismatched as well. There were some hardcover, some paperback, none of them were the same height. It just looked so weird on my shelf. So I unhauled the whole series. That was several years ago. It might have been after I started my YouTube channel or like right before. I'm not positive on that. Yeah, I recently decided I want to own these again, so I reordered the first 2 books in the series just so I have them because I do love them so much. And then we have books in library binding, which if you guys know how to get the plastic off without damaging the dust jacket, let me know. I'm going to try and do some research into it. If I can't, then I'll just get rid of the whole dust jacket because like I have other books on my shelf that don't have dust jackets and it doesn't bother me that much, but I definitely want to get rid of the plastic. But these used to be library books and they were so cheap because of that. We have the Ghost Faces and the Caldera. These are books 6 and 7 in the Brother Band Chronicles, which I'm currently reading 1 book a month, and May is the 5th month, so I've already read the 5th book actually, and I have the next 2 ready to go for when I get there. Then, from the library book sale, I got The Merchant of Venice by William Shakespeare. There was a ton of Shakespeare, but I didn't know which ones I already owned and which ones I didn't. I knew for a fact that I did not own The Merchant of Venice, and I know that I have a couple of other books in this edition. This is the Pelican Shakespeare, and I'm like, you know what? I'll just get this one. It'll be fine. So I did, and now I have a new Shakespeare to read. Well, not new. New to me. It's very old because Shakespeare's been dead for a while. You know what I mean. Then I have some very chunky books. On top of this pile, we have A Declaration of the Rights of Magicians by H.G. Perry, which just looked really cool. It is historical fantasy, which I find myself being drawn to more and more lately. I don't know why. I don't like historical fiction, but something about historical fantasy has really been doing it for me lately. So this takes place during the Age of Enlightenment, and Robespierre is calling for revolution in France. Amidst the upheaval, there's an unknown force inciting violent conflict, and it will require the combined efforts of revolutionaries, magicians, and abolitionists to unmask this hidden enemy before the world falls to darkness and chaos. Which just sounds really cool. I hope it's a standalone. I have no idea. Oh, it's not. It's book 1 in the Shadow Histories. Well, I guess we're starting a bunch of series because I have another book that is part of a series, and that is The Screaming Staircase by Jonathan Stroud, the first book in the Lockwood & Co. series, which I've heard great things about. I know Jess from the Hex Library really likes this series. There is one book that I think she doesn't like, but she likes all the rest. This was made into a Netflix series, and everyone loved the first season, and then it was canceled, as happens to Netflix series. But this is the first in a 5-book middle grade series about children who can see ghosts, I think? Something like that? I don't know, but I'm excited to try it out. Then, oh, my stack is getting kind of precarious over there. I have books from a couple of authors I've been meaning to try out for a while. So up first we have The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. And first of all, this cover, absolutely gorgeous. I don't think this is the one that I would have picked up for myself. I think her other book is called The Night Circus, and I don't know anything about that book or this book, but based on what I've been told from other people, The Night Circus was probably more up my alley, but this one still seemed interesting. I did read the flap. I already don't remember what it's about. The end paper, just all keys. I love keys as like a motif, a decoration thing. I just like keys. So I'm very excited to get to this. The other author I've been meaning to try for a while is Silvia Moreno Garcia, and this is Velvet Was the Night. I feel like this is one of her lesser known books. I know she's got quite a few. I think Mexican Gothic is probably the one she's most well known for, but she has several books out that I've heard nothing but great things about. And this is the one that I found for sale at the used bookstore. Used book sale, not store. There's actually 2 copies of it, which I thought was interesting. I love this cover too. I normally don't like people on covers, but something about this is just really doing it for me. But I'm excited to try this out. I don't recognize any of the people who have blurbed it on the back, but that's fine. I'm still very excited to give this a shot. And then finally, we have The last book, and it's a big one, it is a bind-up of all 3 parts of Dante's Divine Comedy, Inferno, Purgatorio, and Paradiso. My pronunciation was horrible on that. I have not spoken Italian in years. This translation is by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow, with illustrations by Gustave Doré. Oh, I didn't realize it was illustrated! Oh, I'm very excited about that. This is probably something I will not read all in one go. I will most likely like chip away at it little by little. I have read Inferno, but not in English. When I was studying Italian in high school, we read the original Italian, which is like somewhere between Latin and Italian, and we also read it instead of like, you know how like those Shakespeare books will have the regular Shakespearean language and then modern English? The Inferno version that we read had the original Italian and modern day Italian. So that's how I originally read Inferno. I've never read the other 2, but if you've never heard me talk about this before, you're in for a treat. One of my story ideas is a retelling of, for now, Dante's Inferno, might be the whole Divine Comedy, where the Dante figure is a butch lesbian biker, and the Virgil figure is her sentient motorcycle, and I affectionately call it Lesbian Biker Inferno. I'm so excited for this story, you guys. I've been having it percolating in my brain for a couple of years now. It's just kind of the story of my heart, and maybe while reading this, I will get to work on that. Hopefully. But, yeah. Also, this cover is just really stunning. It's simple. The colors are so bold. It looks like there was a sticker on it at one point. I might have to clean that up. But I am so excited to have this. I'm so excited to have all of the books that I bought recently. So yeah, I just thought I'd film this clip for you. And I don't know what vlog this is going in because I have 2 vlogs that I'm filming right now. I think I'll put this in my May Chaos Reign vlog because chaos. What's more chaotic than introducing more books into my life? But I've been rambling for 10 minutes now. I'm going to put all these books on my shelves and go get some lunch. So I will see you guys at some point in the future. Hello friends. It is the 7th right now, Tuesday, and I have an update for you. First though, I want to apologize if the lighting is kind of weird. So my office is a strange shape. There's a door and then like a hallway, and then it kind of swoops around into this little alcove where I have my desk and where I film. And a while ago, the light bulb before the little swoop around burnt out, and just recently, the light bulb directly above my desk burnt out. So the only working light bulb in my office is the one that won't affect over here because it's over by the door. I did move my curtain a little bit to let some more sunlight in, but I don't know, I just feel like this lighting is kind of off. It's what I've got to work with though. I am here to let you know that I'm going to start on my next May Chaos Reign prompt today. The prompt is for decorations. I have gone for garden gnomes, and the prompt for that is the reading prompt, and I have to read a book that has been sitting on my TBR for over a year, and I have decided to go with The Rime of the Ancient Mariner and Other Poems by Samuel Taylor Coleridge. This is a collection of poetry, obviously. And I have read the Rime of the Ancient Mariner before. I think I read it in high school, but I haven't read anything else from this poet. It's very short, which is part of the reason why I picked it. Honestly, if I was going to like pick the book that's been on my TBR the longest, it would be Inferno by Dan Brown, because I've had that book since 2017. I'm not reading that book anytime soon, if I can help it, because she's a chunker. This one is 74 pages, so I should have no problem getting through it. I might be able to get through it today. If not, then by tomorrow. I will let you know whenever that happens, but this is the book that I've picked. It's this beautiful edition. So I collect what's called Dover thrift editions, and they're just these small, cheap, vintage books that are all like this very slim design. They have very beautiful covers. This one was published 1992. I have some from the 80s. It's around that time period. I've got like a dozen or so of them, probably closer to 2 dozen, honestly, but this is one of the last few that I haven't read, so we are knocking them out. And I'm glad I can fit this into the May Chaos Reign prompt. So I'm going to get started on this, and I will let you know how it goes. Hello friends, I am back today. It is the 8th, and I have decided today is going to be the day where I fulfill another prompt. So for the location of my garden party, I have decided to go with the watching prompt because the location is a greenhouse, and I feel like that's a very cute setting, and I'm going for aesthetics here. But the prompt itself that I have to fulfill is to watch a foreign film, and I had a good long think about how I wanted to fulfill this prompt, and I narrowed it down a little bit. I decided that because May is Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, I wanted to do something along those lines. Now, I can't watch anything from an Asian American standpoint because I am American, so even if someone is of Asian heritage, if they are American and made the film in America, it wouldn't count as a foreign film. So we're just gonna go with the Asian part of that, and I have thought up a great movie to watch. So there are 3 things that I love that you need to know about. First, I love Japanese films. Second, I love old films. And third, I love monsters, specifically kaiju in this case. Love them so much. If it's not obvious, I'm gonna be watching Godzilla. I have actually only seen one Godzilla movie in my life, despite the fact that I love kaiju monster movies. The only one that I've seen is I think it was like 1998 or something, definitely late 90s film. It was the first American Godzilla movie, and the only detail I remember is that they have to blow up Madison Square Garden because Godzilla had a bunch of babies in it. Seems absurd, but it is a movie about a giant monster. I am going to go all the way back to the beginning and watch the first ever Godzilla movie that was made in Japan in 1954. And I'm so excited. I originally thought that maybe this could start a binge of sorts where I spend the next several months or however long it takes me to watch all the Godzilla movies, because I do like going through franchises that way. I've done it with things like Star Trek before. There are so many Godzilla movies. There are 33 Japanese Godzilla movies, including one that just came out last year. And there are 5 American Japanese movies, American Godzilla movies, if I could speak correctly. That's so many movies. It's gonna take me a while to get through them if I so decide to, but for right now, I'm just going to watch Godzilla, as it is so simply called, and I'm so freaking excited if you can't tell. I would wait until later on in the evening to watch this because I really like setting the tone for things, but I just don't feel like waiting. I just really want to watch this movie right now. So that is what I'm going to do. Have a nice little afternoon movie session, and I could not be happier. So I will not be showing you any footage from the movie because I have tried to do that sort of thing before where I include little clips, and no matter how short I make the clips or if I take the sound out of them, YouTube doesn't like me doing that. Even if it's only like a 5-second shot to show you the title card, I have gotten very angry YouTube notifications saying you can't do that. So you'll just have to take my word that I am watching Godzilla, which why would I lie to you about that? clearly I'm excited to do it, so I'm going to do it. So I'm gonna get on that and stop rambling, and I will see you guys later. Hello friends, it is May 14th, so we are pretty much halfway through the month. I got a little bit of time, but I am starting my next prompt today, and that prompt is going to be for my dress code. So the dress code I have gone with is pajama party, and I have to make friendship bracelets for that, and this is a prompt that I came up with, so obviously I feel like I have to do it because it's such a cute prompt, and I will be making friendship bracelets for myself and my fellow Chaos Queens because I just think that would be so cute. So I have 4 colors of embroidery thread that I will be using. I know friendship bracelets, some people will do like just a string with beads on it. I am going to be doing friendship bracelets and like when you knot the threads together to make a design. So either way, it works. These 4 colors I've chosen for a reason. So the pink is to represent me. If you didn't know, I love pink. Pink blanket behind me. My computer over here is pink. The curtain in the window is pink. I just really like the color pink. This purple is to represent Violet because she loves purple and also her name is Violet. The orange is to represent Marta because that's her favorite color. And then the red is to represent Crystal because red is just a very crystal-y color, I feel. Like, when I think of her, that's the color I associate with her. So, together they're kind of giving Daphne and Velma vibes from Scooby-Doo, which is not what I intended, but I still think they're gonna be cute. And I watched a bunch of tutorials of different designs, and I'm still not positive what I'm gonna go for, but I will leave a link in the description to whatever I finalize. I've decided that I'm going to start this today because I will be leaving in a couple of days to travel for my cousin's wedding, and I will be in the car for many, many hours, and I feel like this is something that I can do in the car. I'm not the kind of person who can like read in the car, like that makes me nauseous. I do fall asleep in the car quite often, so I might just be sleeping the whole time, but if I'm not sleeping, friendship bracelets seems like a good way to be spending my time. I think so I'm going up to my parents' place is a 2-hour drive, and then the next day I'm going from there to where my cousin's getting married, which is a 3-hour drive, so at least that's broken up across 2 days. But then the day after the wedding, I'm doing all of that car time in one day. That is so much. So I need something to occupy myself. So that's where the friendship bracelets come in. Hello friends, it is currently 9:15 a.m. on the 20th, and I've got some updates for you. First of all, my background you can see has changed slightly. I have started to pack up the office and move some books out, so that's changed a little bit. I haven't moved a ton of books over to the new apartment yet, but I'm getting there. On to my Chaos Reign stuff though. This bag has the string for my friendship bracelets that I cut. I did not work on these at all this weekend like I had planned. I just didn't get around to it, and I'm not upset about it. I wish I'd gone to it, but it's not the biggest deal. I have got an acceptance from the council, aka the other Chaos Queens, to combine prompts. So not only will making these friendship bracelets count towards the make friendship bracelets prompt, but they're also going to count as my try a new hobby prompt, so at least that is a little bit of leeway there. It's gonna make me a little bit less stressed this week as I move, because now I have one less thing that I have to do. And then the other prompt that I still have to complete is to read in a cafe, and kind of segueing off of that, I have more books to show you because I have picked up quite a few books over the past weekend, and I already did one haul in this vlog, so why not keep that going and do another one. So first up, we have some books that I got from Barnes & Noble. So my boyfriend was dropping me off at my parents' place to travel to this wedding, and on the way there, we stopped at Barnes & Noble for 3 things. We ended up getting 4. The first two things I can't show you because they are packed away, but that is volumes 22 of Jujutsu Kaisen and volume 15 of Chainsaw Man, because those are the most recent releases, and that's what we do with those two series. We just buy them when they come out, and I'm very excited to read them whenever I can get them out of the box they're currently in. Besides that, we also went for Myrtle Volume 3. I'm very excited to be doing this. Am I blocking it? Yeah. Right there on my shelf is volumes 1 and 2, which I've already completed. So I can start this soon. I think I'm gonna wait until after I move, just so I don't have another thing to worry about, and I can just pack this in a box for a week and then get to it. But as you can see, this has a buy one get one 50% off sticker. So in order to take advantage of that sale, I also got this book, which is called Murder Your Employer by Rupert Holmes, which might sound familiar because he's the guy who did the Pina Colada song. And you can see I'm using the receipt as a bookmark. So I've gotten a little bit into this book. I was reading it like in the hotel and stuff. So I have started it and I'm enjoying it. This follows some people who want to murder their employers, and they attend this school that's not for like assassins or anything. It's specifically for people who want to kill one specific person, and it teaches them the safest and most efficient ways to do that, which is hilarious. It's a very comedic book. I'm having a lovely time reading it, and this is probably going to be the book that I read for my reading in a cafe prompt, because it's just what I'm currently reading, and I don't think I'm going to get through it super fast because I've got a ton of other stuff going on in my life. The other books that I have to show you are from my grandmother, because my dad and I drove with her to the wedding and back, and when we were dropping her off, she's like, "Oh, I've got some books for you from when I was younger, some old paperbacks that I think you might like. Let me go grab some for you." She had like a big box, but she only gave me 5 of them. So they are stacked on this side of my computer. And we have a couple of James Bond. So we have From Russia with Love, which has these red pages, and I think that's really fun. I guess nowadays we'd call them sprayed edges, but that wasn't really a thing back then to like consider this a special edition, I don't think. So one James Bond. The other one is Thunderball. I've never read any James Bond or seen any of the movies. I just kind of know who he is as a character because he's an insanely famous character. But I think these would be cool to give a shot. I would probably have to look up a reading order for James Bond, and if it's important to read them in a specific order, and if not, these two will just be the first two I get to. Then we have one that I have never heard of the author before, and that is Class Reunion by Rona Jaffe. And it's got this like lime green cover. What is this? It gives an introduction to several of the characters, and they went to Harvard in the 50s. It was their golden chance to win everything they'd ever wanted and live happily ever after. They played by the rules, but the rules changed. There are stories about love, friendship, and secrets, and spans 3 decades. It will make you laugh and cry and remember all the things that shaped our lives. So I guess it's kind of a like coming of age book, but also that they played by the rules, but the rules changed feels a little thrillery, which is interesting, but that's another book my grandma gave me. Then we have Golden Stud by Lance Horner, which looks very romancy. There's a half-naked woman on the cover making out with a guy, and then off in the bushes there's this cowboy-looking dude. I don't know what's up with that. That's interesting. It takes place in New Orleans. Cool. That's just an old romance novel, which I think is really funny. And then the last one that we have is actually one that she gave me to give to my boyfriend, because my boyfriend really likes books about boats, and specifically boat tragedies. I don't know why, but that's his cup of tea. But this is Triangle of Terror and Other Eerie Areas. So I guess it has to do with the Bermuda Triangle and other stuff. This is by Addie Kent Thomas Jeffrey. I don't know, very small. It's about boats and scary things that happen to them. Really funny. I don't know. These are not books I would have picked out for myself, but the fact they're from my grandma is just extra hilarious to me. And I really love old books, as you know. I enjoy thrifting, so that's just really fun that I have those. Now that I've been rambling for a while, I'm going to get going, and the next time you see me will be after I actually fulfill prompts, because I feel like it's been a hot minute since I've done that, and this is supposed to be a May Chaos Rain vlog, so I'll see you then.
So it is much later in the day, probably closing in on 9 p.m., but as you can see, a little bit of progress has been made on the friendship bracelet, and I'm going to keep going with this for a little while longer. I'm watching Critical Role, so I'm thoroughly entertained while I work on this.
Hello friends, it is like 4 p.m.-ish on Friday the 24th? Maybe? We know I'm not good at remembering the dates. I know it's Friday, and I have finished my first friendship bracelet. So I'm wearing it because this one's mine, and it's like the perfect size. I don't know if you can tell. So it's got, I can take it off to show you. It's got this little loop on top, and then this chevron. I pulled it out of my own hand. And then the end, it just has two little braids that are not quite the same length, but almost, to actually tie it around the loop. So that's pretty cool. I'm very proud of myself. You can tell that there was a bit of a learning curve, and took me a minute to understand what exactly I was doing. Also, the hardest part was the end with these braids, like this end bit. I feel like a beauty influencer. This end bit, awful, ugly. I can never braid. Like, it's always been a thing I've struggled with. These look awful, but it's fine. I'm very glad that I did the one for me first so that I could practice. There's a gigantic hair on the thing. Weird. Yeah. I am going to consider the Make Friendship Bracelets prompt done, but the Try a New Hobby I'm going to save until I complete a second friendship bracelet. I don't know if I mentioned that to you guys. I put it to the Council of Chaos Queens, because apparently that's what we call ourselves, and been like, hey, can I double up on these prompts? And they're just like, yeah, why not? So, making friendship bracelets is my new hobby. Unfortunately, I can't do the overhead shot to show you me coloring in the squares because I packed my tripod already, so I don't have a way to get that overhead shot, but I'll just color them all in at the end, because I did this one. I still have to do the Try a New Hobby by making the second bracelet, which this took me longer than I would have liked to make, but not that long in the grand scheme of things. So it's gonna take me a minute to do the second one, and I also still have to read at a cafe, but it's fine. We still have like a week left in the month, so like, I think I can do it. I think I can get this done. Yeah, I'm so proud of myself. It looks homemade, is what we'll say. It doesn't look great, but it looks cute, and I'm happy with it. So that is where I'm at now. I will see you when I've completed either my second bracelet or I've gone to read at a cafe, whichever one comes first. Hello friends. Today has been a day, so let me tell you about it. First of all though, I have the ceiling fan going because this apartment does not have AC and it's really hot. So we're chasing away the heat as best as we can, which isn't very well, but I'll take what I can get. So yesterday was Sunday and we moved apartments, my boyfriend and I, with the help of our very good friends who were kind enough to help move the big pieces of furniture and stuff. It was a time, but it went pretty much as smoothly as you could hope for, so that's great. I'm in my office right now and it's such a huge mess, and I will show you because I'm going to be doing some cleaning and organizing later on, but right now I just need to tell you about the mess of a day that I've had. So this morning We did a couple of runs back and forth because we only moved a block away from our old place, so we've just been carrying some boxes of stuff that didn't have to go in the U-Haul back and forth, and it's so tiring. And around noon, we were like, okay, we're gonna take a break. We're gonna go to the cafe, get some coffee. So I have this coffee with, I'm sure you can tell, a lid that does not fit on it, but this is the lid they gave me. And it's good, except the syrup isn't mixing very well, so I have to like sip in parts, like all the way at the bottom where the syrup is, and then move the straw up as I sip to get some of the coffee, because it just isn't mixing well. I don't know, but it's lavender peppermint, delicious. But we got there at like maybe 10 after 12, and they opened the door for us because there was someone leaving as we were going in, and it was an employee holding the door open for the elderly gentleman who was leaving, and she like ushered us in and then like made our coffee and everything, and then we went and we sat at the outdoor seating that they have because they have like a little back patio, and I was gonna get my prompt done of reading at the cafe, but then like 30 seconds after we sat down, and there were like a couple other people at tables, they were like, hey, just so you know, we closed at 12, so you can't stay. But we came in after 12, they like made our coffee and everything, which was a little bit weird, but okay. So we took a walk a little bit further down the street to sit on one of the benches at the public library. 30 seconds after we sat down, it started raining, even though Google said it wasn't supposed to rain until like 1:30, 2 o'clock. So we got up and started walking. We were going to Rite Aid on our way home anyway to pick up some frozen dinner so we wouldn't have to cook today, because we are still in a lot of disrepair in terms of things just being everywhere. We get there, we buy some frozen dinners, not even like good ones, because there was like maybe 3 frozen dinners total, which, whatever, I'm not gonna be picky about that. My boyfriend is coming up the stairs and he's like stomping and it scared me. So we get our frozen dinners. We also buy an umbrella because it's pouring rain, but then when we get outside, it stopped. Okay, sure. So we have this umbrella, but it also like started raining again as we were walking back to our place. So like I'm glad we bought it, but like it was just one thing after another, and I'm a little bit frazzled. To top it all off, we got here yesterday, and once we had everything settled down, and it was like in the evening, my boyfriend was trying to set up the Wi-Fi, and none of the ports were working. We checked every single one in the apartment and it just wasn't connecting, and he called, or I guess he like chatted on the messenger thing with the company and couldn't figure it out, and the soonest they can send a guy over to help us out with that is Wednesday. So today's Monday, and we won't have Wi-Fi till Wednesday at the earliest. I'm hoping they can fix it on Wednesday, because Saturday is the Make Chaos Reign stream relay, sprint relay, stream relay, I forget what we called it, but hopefully we have it back by Saturday. Hopefully we have it back before then, because my boyfriend works from home and kind of needs the internet, but hopefully by Saturday at the earliest, or at the latest, so I can do that. Now I guess I just sit around and do nothing, or I guess I'll be cleaning, but like I can't listen to music or watch YouTube or anime or anything because we don't have Wi-Fi, and I don't want to use up all of my data. Great. But I'm gonna chill for a little bit. I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna read some of my book because I didn't get to read it at the cafe, and I will get to cleaning stuff up later because I cannot deal with it right now. I will see you whenever I get to it. Okay, it's been several hours and I have calmed down. So this is the office. There's actually books down here by my feet. These are my 2 bookshelves to the left. A couple boxes of books there. All the stuff in this corner is not books. We're gonna deal with that later. Then I have this desk that I got that's kind of wobbly, but it's fine. It's gonna go against that wall there, along with this bookcase. This is my smaller brown bookcase. It's gonna go probably to the left of the desk, but it's currently covered in books, and there's more books. That one's full of notebooks, so I have to actually move that crate. But I have a lot of sorting to do, I guess. We're gonna go by vibe this time, which is not something I've sorted books by before. It's kind of like genre, but not exactly. So I'm gonna get on that and probably not give you an update until I'm finished, if I'm being entirely honest. Hello friends, it is Thursday, May 30th, and I have come to the conclusion that I'm just not going to finish those last two prompts that I picked out for my Chaos Reign, and you know what? I'm okay with it, because here in the Chaos Queendom, we love fudging things, which this isn't even technically fudging things. I'm going to swap out those prompts, which is perfectly acceptable. It's not against the rules. There was nothing about having to choose your prompts ahead of time and stick to them in the rules, so like, I'm fine. I'm not going to change the little doodles in my bullet journal because I really think they're cute, and also I don't want to have to like cover them up and redraw things and all that. I'm just not going to do that. But I am going to do different prompts, so it's going to be a little bit inaccurate. It's my bullet journal and I don't care, so we're moving on. The prompts that I'm switching to for beverages, instead of tea and coffee, which is to read in a cafe, we are going to go for sparkling water, which the prompt is just stay hydrated throughout the month, which I think I've done a pretty dang good job of, especially this past week while moving. I've made sure to drink enough water so that I don't die of heat stroke because it's so hot outside lately. Then for entertainment, I am switching from lawn darts, which is try a new hobby, to clowns, which is attend a chaos stream, which I've done. I've hosted one, and also I attended, I believe it was the one Marta was hosting, because I had a spare hour and I'm like, I'm gonna go hang out with my friends online. So I've already done those prompts, and that means I have completed one in every category. They're not the ones I originally set out to do, but that is perfectly fine. So don't worry, you're still gonna get the B-roll of me coloring in the little pictures that I drew. We're gonna tack that on at the end, but we have come to the end of this video, so if you enjoyed it, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below if you participated in my Chaos Reign, and if you did, how it went for you. Feel free to subscribe to my channel for more content, and that way I will see you guys in the next one. Bye everyone!